Now, Bangladesh Army Chief General Waqar-uz-Zaman, and this is the latest that we're tracking, has said that the interim government, headed by Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, is already on his way back to Bangladesh. That swearing-in ceremony, the oath-taking of this interim government that is going to be led by Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, will take place tomorrow. That is 8th of August on Thursday. This has been corroborated by Bangladesh's Army Chief General Waqar-uz-Zaman, who said that this interim government, headed by the Nobel laureate, will take oath tomorrow. Meanwhile, former Bangladesh Prime Minister, even as we're talking about the first Prime Minister, female Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Khaleda Zia, she came out of house arrest and addressed the crowd after her release from house arrest. She said, and I quote, "I would like to express my sincere thanks to our brave children who fought to the death to make the impossible possible. I pay respect to the hundreds of the martyrs." Before we move ahead, and we've got an expert panel who's going to be joining us, helping us understand what the BNP's role and Khaleda Zia's role is going to be essentially looking like. Let's listen in to what that first reaction from Khaleda Zia looks like. She's a little unwell. You can see some medical paraphernalia, in her background. Take a listen, understand what's happening.
দীর্ঘদিন অসুস্থ থাকার পর আপনাদের সামনে কথা বলতে পারার জন্য আল্লাহর কাছে শুকরিয়া আদায় করছি। আমার কারাবন্দী অবস্থায় আপনারা আমার কারামুক্তি ও রোগ মুক্তির জন্য সংগ্রাম করেছেন, দোয়া করেছেন। সেজন্য আমি আপনাদের সকলকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। দীর্ঘ আন্দোলন সংগ্রাম ও ত্যাগের মধ্য দিয়ে আমরা ফ্যাসিবাদী অবৈধ সরকারের কাছ থেকে মুক্তি পেয়েছি। আমি আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাতে চাই আমাদের বীর সন্তানদের, যারা মরণপণ সংগ্রাম করে এই অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করেছে। শত শত শহীদদের জানাই শ্রদ্ধা। এ বিজয় আমাদের নতুন সম্ভাবনা নিয়ে এসেছে। দীর্ঘদিনের নজিরবিহীন দুর্নীতি, গণতন্ত্রের ধ্বংসের স্তূপের মধ্য থেকে আমাদের নির্মাণ করতে হবে এক সমৃদ্ধ বাংলাদেশ। ছাত্র তরুণরাই আমাদের ভবিষ্যৎ। তরুণরা এই যে স্বপ্ন নিয়ে বুকের রক্ত ঢেলে দিয়েছে, সেই স্বপ্ন বাস্তবায়নে করতে মেধা, যোগ্যতা, জ্ঞান ভিত্তিক গণতান্ত্রিক বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তুলতে হবে। শোষণহীন সমৃদ্ধ বাংলাদেশ, সকল ধর্মের গোত্রের অধিকার নিশ্চিত করতে হবে। শান্তি।
Well, so Khaleda Zia has also asked and urged students to maintain peace. Mind you, these are the students who were at the forefront of this chaotic protest that led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. 15-year rule of the Awami League that came to a sudden end because Sheikh Hasina had to quite literally flee Bangladesh. And students right at the forefront of it, after which you got Muhammad Yunus's name that's come about, the BNP, the Jamaat. What is their role essentially going to be looking like? Ambassador Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, joins us on the broadcast here. Madam, very quickly, this first comment and statement that's come out of Khaleda Zia, you can clearly see that there's a lot of medical paraphernalia behind her. She's not keeping too well, not in the pink of health, I would say, and she's reading it out from a paper, not her words essentially. I understand her word goes a long way. She talks about students, she thanks them, she says, "I respect and pay my respects to all the martyrs," but then again she's asking for a wholesome Bangladesh, a Samruddh Bangladesh. What is the BNP's role going to be like? How much of it is going to be factored in by Khaleda Zia herself, given her deteriorating health and of course your own expertise of politics that plays out in Bangladesh? Over to you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I'd like to say one point straight off at the beginning, because you said that it's the students who ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Actually, that's not correct. because the student reform movement, the quota reform movement, was something supported by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. In fact, she abolished the quota for children of freedom fighters 6 years ago in 2018. There had been students' protests at that time and she abolished them. When it was reinstated by the High Court because somebody went in appeal, then Sheikh Hasina's government went to the Supreme Court and the students' groups were with her, some of them, because the students' group is not a hierarchical structured movement. They are amorphous groups, they're different universities and coordinators and all that. So actually, they were on the same, till 15 July, there was no violence of any kind on the students' quota reform movement. It was only because of that reference to Razakars and then the students misunderstood, all that, there was some violence, the Chhatra League and students clashed. But when that violence took place, the the Jamaat-e-Islami's the student wing, Islami Chhatra Shibir and the BNP student wing, they got into the act and they have usurped the entire students' movement. So now, actually, let me say that it is the Jamaat-e-Islami who is calling all the shots, because who are the people who have brought down the statue of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman? The students revere Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. They revere the history of the liberation war movement. But who is calling this a second liberation? It is the Jamaat-e-Islami. Second liberation from what? Second liberation from the first liberation war. Are they, wanting to deny the history of the liberation war? So this is a fact that has to be taken into account when we are looking at what is going to happen next. Yes, the BNP is seeking a role for itself in the interim government and so on. But please notice that Begum Khalda Zia, she is very elderly now and she is really unwell, as you've noticed. She's very unwell. She doesn't appear at all. But the fact that she had to appear today is because her son, Tariq Rahman, who is really wielding all the shots in the party, in the BNP, and he's living in London. He's been there for 15 years, and after keeping him there for 15 years, the UK is now saying that we don't want Sheikh Hasina to come. But anyway, to get back to the BNP, Tariq Rahman, the son of Begum Khalda Zia, he is unable to return to Dhaka. He started living in the UK because he was escaping from the cases against him, started first by the caretaker government led by the army in 2007-8. And then there were other cases also which were added. But nobody seems to want him back in Dhaka. And that's a big blow for the BNP. So actually the BNP, Sheikh Begum Khalda Zia, is having to speak despite her elderly and poor health and her elderly age and all that. And it's sad to see her speak like this. I've seen her in the prime of her life when she was Prime Minister when I was there in Dhaka. So, this is a very sad way to see her speak, but it reflects that the BNP does not have much of a role. They're seeking a role. They're wanting to be there, but I don't see them getting much of a role. It's the Jamaat in full control. In fact, how much Prophet Muhammad Yunus will be able to do because of the strength of Jamaat.